Welcome to Unfiltered Minds. I'm Adam, and this episode is called Escaping the Life That Was Never Mine. What this really means to me is, in reality, I never felt, and still don't, feel like I am the person who I was meant to be. I feel like everything that we do, everything that most people believe are kind of lies that have been structured from either past or ideas of the future or even social media and the way that people tell us that we should live. And I feel like I'm a bit of an outsider sometimes. I feel like I'm a person who seems unguided in the things that they want to do or the person who they're going to become, because I actually don't feel like I believe in any sort of thing that most people force us to believe. Like, we should go to school for these reasons. We should get this job for this reason. We should become this person to do this. And yes, there is some amazing ideas out there from amazing people, but there's also ideas that are being forced upon us through mainstream media or whatever it is to make us feel like we have to be a certain type of person or act in certain ways to fit in. And it feels like I'm just walking through a world sometimes built for other people. And I don't know if other people feel like this, but it just feels like I'm trying to escape something that was never me. And sometimes that's really difficult to live with and continue doing. This podcast, as you may know from title or description or whatever, that is about autism. And I've been diagnosed recently. And I feel like this may be a view of life that I have because of the way that my mind works. But I feel like society just runs on this rule, goals, routines, and it doesn't fit me. It doesn't fit the way my brain works. And to live in that for like 25 years now is really difficult. And you hit a point where you just kind of say like, fuck it. You don't want to do the things that they tell you to do, or you don't want to start being that person who someone says you should be, or living up to other people's expectations of you just to feel like you. And other people seem so certain on who they should become or what they should do or how they should perform for society. And I don't feel like I'm lost. I'm not with the same people. I'm not with them people on being able to function at a level that works well. They can go out and party and do all these things. And this is also why this first episode is about this, because I went out. In reality, every time I go out, I just know that it breaks my way of thinking, because I get drunk and I do these things, and realistically I'm trying to escape the reality that I'm in, and that's through my job that I do on a daily basis. But I don't feel like I'm lost. I feel like I'm just trying to find me, and it's actually more difficult than it sounds and than it is to say. But when you start to question a lot of things more than most people do, you realize that there's a lot more out there than what everyone else expects of it. And I feel like I've hid a lot from the world and from myself for so long that even trying to find that part of me feels like I'm lying to myself, because it's not what others think about me or what others expect of me, but the life, the rules, the expectations that I've got myself stuck into of the crazy fun party person or the person who talks about conspiracies or all these things is just like a structure of who I am to them and the world around me, but it's not actually like the real life version of me. I hide a lot behind them ideas just to feel like I'm normal, feel like I'm fitting in. And underneath, I actually just feel really angry. I feel a lot of grief for my old self not knowing the things that I do now with my most recent diagnosis. And I just feel this like numbness or I feel a massive longing just to feel like I should be the person who I want to become. And I don't really know how to get there, and I realize that I'm quite good at speaking when it comes to certain things and expressing ideas about certain things that other people will question. But being able to step into that is something that I just need to do, because it helps me escape the feelings that I feel. And the loop within my head is I just keep feeling like I've never meant to live like this. I was never meant to live this version of life. And I feel like I should escape my old self to live as my new self, which I try all the time. And it's really hard to look at life through that lens. And I learned recently it's monotropism, which is part of this. And it's when you get into something real, I feel alive. And most of my life doesn't allow me to get into that situation of feeling so alive all the time. My full-time day job is energy draining. I come out of that wanting to escape, as causes a lot of issues in itself. But the idea of monotropism is when I'm so involved in an idea, so involved in finding something out or learning something about some topic or whatever it is, and I feel like this hyper energy. I feel like my brain is on fire and that nothing can stop me. That is when I feel alive. That is when I feel the most me I've ever felt in my life. But about 95% of the time throughout the day, I don't have the opportunity to do that because I'm trying to live up to the ideal version of what life is meant to be. It's really difficult to actually live that way. And I know that there's someone out there listening to this who hopefully I can help through just saying things like this. But we aren't alone, really. Like, you can think and feel them ways, and you've seen people achieve much greater things in life through doing that. And I'm not talking about fame, money, or whatever it is. Them things come with that stuff. But it's just not how life should be lived. We need to live as we used to. We need to explore ideas. We need to dive into things full depth and allow ourselves to disappear for weeks, months, and come back as that new person who found out the truth about that one thing. Even if you believed you were wrong the whole time, you'll come out of it knowing the real answers because you went into it with such dedication and so much passion, and that has gone. It's always next. What's the next dopamine high? What's the next feel? And what's the next this? What's the next that? And you look back at all them days of trying to do them things, and then you go, what have I actually achieved? What have I done with my time and myself and the people around me? You've not really became anything. So what would be real? What would be the real me? What would be the real you? If I could design the life for my brain, it would look like a space where I can just go into my own ideas and, like I said before, delve into it for like days, weeks, months, and come out with some sort of thing to share with the world, and then hear other people share ideas from that or share their own ideas and build more and more of an understanding through some sort of meaning, through some sort of purpose that I feel like life was always meant to have. Like, imagine waking up in the morning, going into that office room that you have or whatever you want to create that space. Like, it's up to you. It could be in the back garden, and say you build a shed and you could do it in your shed, whatever it is. But you just spend time doing that thing that fuels you. You'll fail a few times, you'll succeed more times than not, hopefully. And you'll realize you'll come out of it feeling like, I just achieved something with my life. I've just achieved something within that time. Rather than going to that job and pressing buttons and doing things for some strange reason that we don't actually know. We're just kind of doing it. And then not coming out of it with any sort of result or meaning or anything, and going home, eating food, watching something on the TV to escape or go out party and do whatever it is, and then coming back to reality thinking, fuck, got to do the same thing again. So that is my freedom, I guess. It's not just a theory, it's kind of a detailed idea of what my brain thinks. And if you do enjoy this type of thing when it comes to not really finding solutions, but just allowing your head to escape and listen to someone rant about random shit or talk about whatever it is in life that most people probably feel but don't actually say, then I'm glad you came. I'm glad you dropped into the loop of my own thoughts today. And until next time, stay raw, stay deep, stay unfiltered.